Company Video Channel 19.
Sup everybody, sup! Jolt and Jimmy here with another episode. I thought today I'd sport this Mandalorian robe I got from a guy named John in a galaxy far, far away. You know, some people say I need help. Well, everybody needs help. Everything needs help from time to time, even verbs. So let's give those verbs some help. And that's what this episode's about. Helping verbs.
I used to be this buff.
Jolt and Jimmy just jockeying Jack's jubilant jacket. Did you notice that every word in that sentence started with the same sound? That's called alliteration. Not to be confused with obliteration. And alliteration is our word of the day.
Alliteration is a noun, and it means the occurrence of the same letter or sound at the beginning of words.
Now, it's only alliteration if the words start with a consonant sound. If each word starts with a vowel sound, that's called assonance.
Assonance is also a noun, and it means the repetition of the sound of a vowel.
Just like the verbs we're going to help in a little bit, I can tell right now you need some assistance. So here to assist us is Company Video Channel 19's #1 newscaster, Cameo Camry. Take it away, Cameo.
This is Cameo Camry, All-American, Alliteration and Assonance Analyst, analyzing all alliteration and assonance all afternoon.
Wow, what wonderful work!
That's alliteration.
And as always, another awesome analysis.
That's assonance.
Thank you, Camry, and please stand by for more analysis as we move forward. Last episode, we talked about making your sentences more interesting by adding words, adjectives, to the subject of your sentence. This allows the reader to know more about your subject. Hey, you like apples? Because this episode, we're going to do the same thing, but with verbs. You're going to learn how to add words that will help the reader know more about the action of your sentence, or the verb. These words are called helping verbs. How you like them apples?
These verbs need help. What shall we do? I recommend my trusty confidant, my loyal soldier, Commander Cooper. Commander who? You've never heard of Commander Cooper? Nope. What's so special about him?
Eli, young lad, did I ever tell you about the time I perceived a plethora of playful, powerful puppies pouncing on a patient possum precariously perched on a platform pretending to have perished?
Preposterous.
All alliteration.
Uh-huh.
Or the time I felled 50 ferocious, fast-flying ferrets by flinging my favorite phonograph?
That's alliteration.
With the phonograph, that must be some sort of record. I'm kinda liking this guy.
Okay, I'm sold. Let's go with Commander Cooper. But first,
Another lightning round review.
you should already know this stuff, so we're gonna go quick. What is a verb? Something we can do. An action verb shows action. Run, jump, and talk. A linking verb links the subject to a word that describes is, was, am. What is the subject, the main noun in a sentence? It's what the sentence is all about. What's a prepositional phrase? A group of words that explains where or when something happens. Above the table, behind the garage, after class. What's an infinitive? It's usually just another verb that is not connected to the subject, and it always comes after the word to. What are the 4 types of simple sentences? SV, SSV, SVV, and SSVV. What are the steps of PENS? Pick out a formula, explore words, note the words, search and check. And finally, what are the 4 parts of the search and check step? Mark out imposters, ask if there's a verb, root out the subject, and key in on the beginning, ending, and meaning of the sentence. Yes! Whew. And now for helping verbs. Just like several words can form the complete subject of a sentence, several words can form the complete verb. Let me show you what I mean.
Commander Cooper did travel all over the world.
The words did travel make up the complete verb of this sentence. The word travel is the main verb. Without that word, the action in the sentence is missing. The word did is called the helping verb. It helps the main verb to show the action of the sentence.
You must think I care.
The words must think make up this complete verb, with think being the main verb and must being the helping verb.
What are you rebelling against, Eli? What do you got? You mean, what do you have? Well, I have 23 helping verbs, and here they are.
You might already notice some of these words from a previous lesson. That's because some of these words are also linking verbs. For example, the word am can be used by itself as a linking verb or in front of a main verb as a helping verb.
I am going to Commander Cooper for help.
The words am going make up the complete verb in this sentence. Going is the main verb. The main verb is the word that best shows the action or state of being of the subject of the sentence. But am helps out, so it's a helping verb and part of the complete verb.
Guess I'll be going too!
Can you guess what the complete verb is here? It's be going, with going as the main verb and be as the helping verb.
You have been rebelling, but we'll be riding towards a brighter tomorrow, as we are being helpful to these verbs in need.
Indeed.
You will also notice that 3 words on this list, be, been, and been, are 3 more words that can be used as helping verbs. You may recall that be and been were on our list of linking verbs. You must be careful with these 3 words, because each of these words must be used with another helping verb in order to be used correctly. They cannot be used by themselves in front of the main verb. Let me show you what I mean.
I've been riding my whole life.
Now, you may hear people talk like this quite often, but if you want to say this properly and enhance your chances of being hired when you speak at a job interview, you'll want to add another helping verb in front of the word been. You'll see here that riding is still the main verb, and now we have 2 helping verbs, have and been. I have been riding all my life.
Yeah, that's what I settled, man! And I'd be coming to help.
Allow me to assist you, my lad, with some willpower. Place the power of will just before that killer bee.
Very good. Now we have coming as our main verb, as well as will and be as our helping verbs for a 3-word complete verb.
Top notch! Top notch!
To summarize, we can use 1 or 2 or even 3 of these helping verbs in front of a main verb to form a complete verb. Can you think of some combinations of these helping verbs and main verbs?
I should have stayed in the blades. You might have felt guilty.
You would have been seen as a coward.
How do you like me now?
Fast, furious, fierce.
Alliteration.
Eager, energetic, exceptional.
Assonance.
That Eli lad reminds me of a soldier who served in my platoon back in the day. A young chap who went by the name of Chad B. Swim, which made him a walking oxymoron since the poor fellow sank like a rock when our boat capsized on the Nile River way back in '44. Chad B. Swim was 23 years old. I still remember the numbers on his dog tags. 23, 23, 3, 24, 13. Rest in peace, old boy.
To help you remember the helping verbs, we have a sentence and a number. They are Chad B. Swim is 23 years old and 2323 3 2413. Each of the letters in Chad B. Swim stands for one of the groups of words on your helping verb list. For example, the C stands for the 2 words that begin with the letter C, can and could. The H stands for has, have, and had, and so forth. The number 23 in the sentence reminds you that there are 23 helping verbs. Each of the numbers in 23, 23, 3, 24, 13 stands for the number of words in each group. Now, if you really want to be awesome, you'll spend a little bit of time memorizing these. Here's some examples of each and every helping verb from Chad B. Swim.
I am coming to help, Your Majesty!
I can help too! We could work together.
That might be advantageous.
We should think about this.
I have been thinking already, lad.
What plan would work?
We must help each verb that requires it.
That will work. We shall prevail. We were wanting to help.
You are being helpful already.
We may save the day. I was hoping this would work.
We do work.
It is working.
It does work.
It did work.
It had worked before, and it will work again.
Our dialogue has showed all 23 helping verbs.
The triumphant trio triumphs today.
Alliteration.
Trio?
My boy, a duo consists of two. A trio consists of three. There are three of us, therefore we are a trio.
Now that you know a little bit about helping verbs and that complete verbs are made up of helping verbs and main verbs, let's see how we might write a sentence containing helping verbs using the PENS strategy. Our first step is to pick a formula. Let's keep it simple here and just go with SV, one subject and one verb. Instead of exploring words, let's just use what they said. We've been talking about adjectives and we've been talking about helping verbs. I heard the word trio there. That sounds pretty cool. I'm going to use trio as my subject. We seem to say the word help all the time today, so let's use the word help as our verb. So we have for our subject trio. We have for our verb help, which could also be helping. I'm going to use the word triumphant in front of trio as the adjective. That's alliteration. And I'm going to throw in a few helping verbs because that's what we're learning about today. Has been will be my helping verbs. Our next step is to note the words. So here I go. I'm going to take all these words that we just explored and put them together. Check me out. The triumphant trio has been helping with helping verbs. You get it there? Helping with helping verbs? Haha. All right. Now we need to search and check. What's the first step in search and check? We got to mark out the imposters. Do I see the word to in there? Nope. So there's no infinitives. Do I see any prepositions? Yes, I do. I see the word with, which means that with helping verbs is a prepositional phrase. I'll cross that out and put the letter P above it. The next step of search and check is to ask the verb question. Are there any action verbs, linking verbs? And since what we've learned about today comes into play, are there any helping verbs? Yes, I see the word helping here. That's an action verb. And then I also see has and the word been in front of helping. Those are both helping verbs. What a tongue twister. So I'm going to put a V above helping. And I'm also going to put V's today above has and above been because we're learning about helping verbs. Next step on search and check is to root out the subject. So I ask myself, who or what has been helping? The trio. So I know trio's my subject. Put a big letter S above there. And you know what else I'm going to do from last lesson? I'm going to underline any adjectives. Is there any word or words that describes trio? Absolutely there is. Triumphant. So I'm going to underline that. There we go. And in case you're wondering, what's that word the in the beginning of the sentence? It's called an article. We'll talk about those later. Final step in search and check is to key in on the beginning, the ending, and the meaning of the sentence. Do we have a capital letter to start off our sentence? Yep. Do we have a punctuation mark at the end? Yep. And does our sentence make sense? I think it does. The triumphant trio has been helping with helping verbs. Say that 10 times fast. And now you're ready for your assignment. Remember, do your best, snap a picture of your completed assignment with your smartphone, and email it to my school email address. And if you've got the orange workbook, feel free to become awesome and work on pages 103 through 110.
And we'll see you next episode on Jimmy the Greek's Writing Workshop. Peace out.
Oh, girl, you're the spitting image of my old boss, Winston Churchill. And you smell a bit like Ceocus.